My neighborhood had block parties on the 4th of July. I was a young girl, probably 7, 8, 9 years old, but I used to like to sing. And my father picked me up from the ground. He lifted me up and he put me onto a flatbed truck that had a microphone on it and told me to sing a certain song, so I did. And when I finished singing, the neighborhood, actually the neighborhood people applauded, and I thought, oh, I think I like this. I liked that they liked me, I think.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I grew up in a family of 12 children, and that's one of the reasons I think that when my dad picked me up and stuck me on that flatbed, and people actually, I thought, wow, they're looking at me, you know. Because when you grow up with 12 children, you're part of a blob. You're part of a blob. That's the only way to put it. You know, I think I'm where I need to be at this point in my life, at this age. I'm in a theater, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm sort of skulking the perimeter. I'm not on stage. I'm in the life, and I love it.
Yeah. Did you continue to perform?
I didn't really have a choice because the school I was in, for some reason, the nuns felt I was talented. And they would give me these poems to memorize, and I'd go on the stage, and there would be like a group of, I don't know, church people or PTA people, and I'd get up and I'd recite, "Lovely lady dressed in blue, teach me how to pray." After that, I continued to do things with the school. I played the tambourine where you did the thing with the elbow and the knees and da-da-da-da-da. I joined community theaters, and I did plays, you know, small parts or big parts. Maybe when I was 35, I stopped doing community theater.
Yeah.
I had 3 babies, I had 3 children, and I think I probably decided, oh, I think I better grow up now.
And you went back to school later in life.
I'm very proud of this. When we moved to Tucson, I was in my early 60s, and at 62 years old, I started at Pima College, and I got 2 associate degrees because I didn't know any better. I got one in sort of general, and then I thought, well, I really want to write, and I really want to do English. So I stayed there, and I got a second associate's degree in English literature, and they shared with me that I could transfer a lot of my credits to the U of A and get a BA. So I did that, and I went to the University of Arizona, and I got my BA at 65 years old, cum laude. I'll have you know. Yeah, and that was a wonderful time in my life. I was very happy with doing it. I felt complete. I always felt I wasn't complete. I felt I'm not complete. I want a degree.
Yeah.
And I got that, and I just felt, you know, that might have something to do with the way I felt when I was introduced to the Rogue, because I felt, this is me now, I'm complete. I can do what I want. Maybe, I don't know.
That's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah, good. I heard about the Rogue Theater through a writer friend of mine. We did workshops together, and we took classes together, and we were in the same poetry group. His name is Dan Gilmore, and he said, oh, we're doing this, there's this theater group in Tucson, and they're great, and they're doing Orlando, and it's Virginia Woolf, and he said, you have to go and see it. Okay, good. And I saw Orlando, I saw Immortal Longings before we moved into the historic Y, and I was hooked. And Dan asked me at the time, he said they were getting ready to move into their own space. They needed a volunteer coordinator, and he said, you might want to do that. And I said, yeah, I do. So I met with Cindy and started being volunteer coordinator. And when we moved into the Y, Cindy asked me if I would be interested in extending that job as volunteer coordinator to become the house manager. I said, sure. I had no idea what a house manager did, but I said, yep, I'll do it, and figured it out, and here I am.
What does a house manager do exactly?
The house manager has to ensure that every patron, everyone who bought a ticket, is safe, is happy, is secure in their seats, and if there's ever an emergency, the house manager is there. But what a lot of folks don't realize is no performance can begin until each integral part of that performance checks with the house manager. The stage manager tells the house manager, I'm giving the actors a places 5 minutes. Once the house manager hears those words, we have to go and check with the box office, the will call person, the snack bar person, back with the stage manager. The play can't start until we've done all of that. When all that is settled and we know the lobby is clear, we give a thumbs up to the stage manager, who in turn gives a thumbs up to the musicians and says, okay, we're clear, finish your music. And as soon as the music stops, the director is on the stage saying, hello, welcome to the Rogue.
Yeah, and we're off.
And we're off, like a prom dress. Sorry.
What would you say is the most challenging aspect of your work as house manager?
It's the timing. By the time we get that 5-minute call from the stage manager, we have to have everybody in their seat. Once the director is on stage welcoming everyone, then we have to close up the shop, bring the drapes down, hide the white walls and the restroom doors, turn off the light in the men's room so that it doesn't glare. I mean, it's a million tiny little things that we have to remember to do in order to ensure a smooth performance.
Yeah. Would you say that there's an art to what you do as house manager?
I do.
Yeah?
I really do.
Tell me about that.
Because without what we do, there's no art, there's no play, there's no peaceful gathering, let's say.
Right.
And I feel that's an art. I don't get to sit in the house because there are no seats. Oftentimes I sit in the dark hallway and I don't see the play, but I hear it. And oftentimes when you only hear the dialogue and you don't see it, you think, oh, that's why they did that. Or you think, oh wow, that's so brilliant. Who directed that? And I'm thinking, this is a master class. Every time I sit in this hallway, in the dark, listening, it's a master class. I think I'm very deep into the art.
Yeah. You often see or hear the plays over and over and over
Every
again.
night. Every night.
Yeah, over the course of a run. What do you think you get out of doing that someone who only comes to see the play once might be missing out on?
You miss out on the mistakes. I mean, seriously, I know when somebody hesitates to say a line, I'll think, oh my gosh, they forgot. Oh, here it is, there it is. Or somebody skips over a line, believe it or not, sitting in that dark hallway, I know when a mistake is made.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun. It's kind of like, ooh, that's a secret. I knew that.
Yeah. The type of things that an audience wouldn't even really notice.
No, why would they if they've only seen it one time?
Yeah. What can you tell me about the Rogue audience as a community?
I think a lot of audiences, when you go into like a movie theater or a different theater or concert, the people aren't connected to each other as we are in the Rogue. I mean, it seems everybody knows everybody else, and if they don't, they introduce themselves. Oh, hi, I've seen you here before.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a family, and I love that I know everybody's name. That I love, and they know mine. Many of them know my name, and I love that.
Yeah.
I've done a lot in the theater, but it's been a lot of like, I don't want to say nothing, but it's been a lot that didn't really lead anywhere. It was really, well, actually, I guess it led where I am.
Yeah.
What am I saying?
Yeah.
It led right here. Yeah. So yeah. We used to have like a different stage manager.
Sorry, I'm getting the Charlie horse. Whoa! I just had to stand up for a minute. Sorry.
What was I?